Shalom, family. So, welcome back. I was reading Genesis and I just wanted to share a couple of things that stuck out to me. But before I get started, I hope you guys can hear me. I have a fan going and it's kind of early, so I'm trying not to speak too loud. Also, excuse my Bible. I don't really like this Bible because the writing is all jumbled together, or the text is all jumbled together, but it's the only Bible I have at the moment. So, bear with me. So, okay. And ignore my not so pretty writing. Thank you. So anyway, okay, so I was reading Genesis and this stuck out to me, right? So Genesis 3:19 says, "In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread till you return unto the ground, for out of it were you taken, for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return." So the reason I decided to speak about this is because this is what came to me, right? So this is the man's punishment for breaking Yah's commandment, right? And I thought, what came into my mind was, I started thinking about people overall, right? And how men, or I should say women, let's say, women don't typically, not all women, but a lot of women don't typically care about the trials and tribulation that a man has to go through in regards to this anyway, right? We just kind of expect a man to work. We also just kind of expect a man to work hard. We don't really put much thought into it. Again, this is not all women, but it's a lot of women, especially women of the world, especially people who are walking in unrighteousness. You don't really consider the plight of your brother or your sister, for that matter, when you are walking in unrighteousness. But the point is, I wanted to make a correlation between the obliviousness, if that's a word, between man and woman when it comes to these punishments for breaking the commandment, right? So, as I said, when it comes to a man, we don't really consider how hard he has to work. We don't really consider, again, some women, not all. We don't really consider how hard he has to work for that bread. We don't really consider the amount of money that our brothers have to get in comparison to their counterparts. We don't really consider these things. We just kind of, if I can just say it frankly, we're very lackadaisy about it. It's just kind of expected. Oh, well, that's just what it is, and that's the end, right? So I noticed the correlation between us as women, not all women, some women, not really caring much or putting too much thought into the fact that they have to work so hard for that bread, right? And the correlation between men not really caring very much about the great multiplication of sorrows that we have to go through. So with women now, in Genesis 3:16, unto the woman Yah said, "I will greatly multiply your sorrows," your sorrow, and conception. "In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you." So when a woman has a baby, some men, I feel like I have to keep saying that just to be clear, not all men, but some men do not really care. They don't care about your back pain. They don't care about your feet being swollen. They don't care about the fact that you have to carry this child for all these months. Not to say they don't care completely, but they're kind of lackadaisy about it. I mean, the overall thinking is, well, women been doing this from the beginning of time, so what's the difference with you? They're kind of lackadaisy about it. Similar to how a lot of women are lackadaisy about the fact that these men, in order to survive, have to work very hard. It's not to say that women don't have to do that too, but we're not talking about them right now. We're speaking about how the difference between men and women in regards to the punishments received for breaking Yah's commandment. So, with women now, I will greatly, not kind of, sort of, but greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. So, that sorrow, I believe what's included in there is all the things that happen with our sisters when it relates to having a relationship, when it relates to trying to obtain a relationship, all those sorrows, be it, not feeling good enough for the gentleman that you're with, be it, having to deal with the fact that he's more focused on getting that bread, all right, more than whatever you're going through, right? And your desire shall be to your husband. Upon reading that to some maybe wouldn't seem like a punishment, but it is a punishment if you consider the fact that he might be a little bit too busy getting that bread to care about your sorrows, and you're gonna still have to have that desire to your husband, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Your desire is still gonna be to your husband. So there might be times, and again, this is not every relationship, right? But this is just an overall view. You're gonna still have to deal with a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? All because he broke that commandment. So, and he shall rule over you. So we see it all the time. These brothers are, not all of them, but a lot of these brothers are very tyrant-like, very controlling and dominating, and really just trying to, I don't know, break a sister, I guess, or whatever the case is. But I just wanted to point out primarily that in breaking Yah's commandments, the punishment for the woman and the punishment for the men seem to be so heavy on each of them that they're too busy dealing with their own sorrow to care about what the other person's sorrow is. Again, this is not in all cases, but I would like to think in the vast majority of cases, just putting some things together, connecting some dots, you know what I'm saying? Ignore my ugly writing, please. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, that's all I really wanted to point out. Very quick video. This, I hope, is, helpful in some regard in terms of dealing with each other, because I feel like that's really my purpose here, or one of my purposes here, if not the main purpose here, to help unify our people in whatever way possible. If we can consider what the other one is going through from time to time, we can help comfort each other better, overall, not just in relationships, but overall. Okay, so that's it. Shalom.